Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Stress-Free Aging. Hurry back and join us. Hi, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. Today's show, ladies and gentlemen, is Stress-Free Aging, and we have the CEO herself, Amanda Allen. Good afternoon, Amanda.
Hi, Marsha. Thank you so much for having me.
Well, Amanda, I'm going to tell you, it is an honor to have you because we have a lot of questions to answer for people who are under a lot of stress. How about that?
That's what I specialize in.
Okay. So Amanda, I want to start off. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what is stress-free aging.
Well, I started stress-free aging because of the amount. I actually was a massage therapist for 30 years, so I dealt with stress years ago, just through that, and it really evolved through that. But I've been in the health and wellness industry for 35 years. I started when I was 4.
Okay.
Okay, I was 19.
I'm behind you. Okay.
Yeah, there you go. I was 19 and really had such just a love for seniors and for, I actually started in hospice, believe it or not. I started in hospice at 19 years old, and then it just kind of evolved from there. And stress-free aging has kind of come about from I was working in corporate and started slowly starting this out and had such a great time with it.
Well, at 19, it seemed like you had a lot of experience already. So
I've worked in many different fields, from office management to the hospital setting to the private duty setting. I have learned marketing. I've worked in many different places, and now it's time to do it for myself.
All right, so that's where the title comes from, stress-free aging?
Stress-free aging, yeah.
Okay, so give us some insight of what does stress-free aging do?
Well, initially it started as activities for people in assisted livings and adult foster care homes and things of that nature. So I have coaches that go out, and they started going out to different nursing homes and different areas throughout the city where they would just go in and do activities that were social, cognitive, and physical activities. So they were able to engage. And it would help to reduce their stress because they found they would do the activities, they were friendlier, they had a lot more fun, things like that. So I have a little saying called creating moments with meaning. So all of my coaches and I know that when we go in, our time there is intentional with them.
So what kind of problems were you seeing when you were in the process of developing this?
It's more the family issues of lack of planning. So people in difficult situations that are like immediate crisis situations that they walk into. Yeah. So, when you're in a situation of lack of planning, you're going to have a crisis. But how often does a crisis happen when you plan?
True that. But a lot of families are not. I mean, this generation of caregivers is different from the caregivers that I remember, okay, including myself. So it's like, are we trying to support and embrace the caregivers to have an easier transition with their family, with their elderly parents, or are we actually soothing some of the stress from the elderly parent who's now been separated from the family because they're in placement?
And I think one of the things is it's a twofold. I think what we need to do is we need to come first. Education is going to be the key, because you go in the hospitals, goes from the hospital to the nursing home. You have somebody else making decisions for you. You have all of these other people making decisions for you because there was lack of planning, and then that's where the stress is coming in. I mean, this is so funny. The other day I was just at getting my nails done, and this lady, I'm listening to her. She's arguing with the social worker because she wants to bring her mom home. They're going back and forth, and she was so frustrated.
Wow.
And I just felt so bad for her, but I see this every single
Did you
day.
save her? Okay.
I did. She took my card.
I knew you had to save her.
I did. I
Right,
did. I
right.
gave her my card, and she was like so excited because I do work with hospice as well. So there's a transition with everything. Someone goes in the hospital, they go into the nursing home, they go to home care, they go to palliative care, and eventually to hospice.
Right,
So,
right. And a lot of times, I think if we thoroughly educate families of the different services, they would feel better about the decisions they're making. But most families don't get that information until it's almost too late.
I agree with you. One of the things that I also see is that there's a lot of misinformation about hospice. So they don't like the H word. They
I
want
don't
to
either.
call it. They want to call it comfort care.
Right.
They want to call it something else, and I'm okay with that. We're okay with doing that. But I always call it intentional living.
But if people knew, or most people, families knew that there's palliative care before hospice, then we would fare better with knowing that, okay, so mom or dad is going into palliative care. And if they should become dire ill or whatever, it transitions to hospice.
Exactly.
But the term hospice just automatically sounds like it's the end of the line. And I'm going to say that because that's how I felt.
Right. But one of the things I wanted to touch on while we're talking about this is if you have a loved one that has to go into like a nursing home, I think hospice is a beautiful way to have extra eyes and ears on that loved one, for the simple fact that since COVID, we have a lack of services out there.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lack of caregivers. They're overworked, and they really need a break sometimes. And if they can have that team coming in, the aide comes in and does the showers, does the bathing, things like that, it's so much easier. And it's just extra hands, eyes and ears and hands on that.
That's true. That's true.
And your loved one.
Right. Now, who are your Providence partners? Where they come in at?
So Providence Partners is a program that I started as a community outreach education piece. So I worked with Detroit Police Department. We did some events with a previous corporate company I was working with, and then we kind of evolved after that. And what happened is they came to me and they said, well, we want more. And I said, well, I'm actually transitioning on my own. They said, okay, so we're now doing 11 events a month.
Okay.
And they have a program called SALT, which is Senior and Law Enforcement Together.
That's great.
So once a month in each precinct, we do an event at a senior community. So we have the communities that we do all kinds of different, all kinds of educational, it's all education based.
Okay.
So it's been a blast. I've had so much fun with it.
So SALT. Okay, we're going to talk about that. I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a break, and we'll be right back with stress-free aging. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, it's me, Ben Bailey, and today we're cruising through the chaos of parenting. And the prize is peace of mind and some great parenting tips. What do you say? Do you want to play? Yeah. All right, question 1. Your child whines every time they don't get their way. What do?
Whine back.
Hide in the garage. Oh no, incorrect. Better move is to stay calm. Set clear boundaries and don't give in. Consistency shuts down the power struggle. Next question. When your teen seems addicted to their phone, what do?
Bury it in the backyard.
Creative, but no. Set screen time limits with your teen, not for them. Giving them some say in their device time limits will help them stick with it. All right, final question. From toddlers to teens, where can you find expert advice to help you on your parenting journey?
Parenting.org.
That is correct. Don't drive yourself crazy guessing. Head to parenting.org from Boys Town.
And for those of you who are just now joining us, I always say the same thing all the time. Everybody always say, get your pen and paper out. Why? Because you have questions. And what does that mean? Either you're going to call me, Marcia, at 1-800-323-5336, or email me at marcia@justastalkshow so that we can get your questions over to Amanda Allen, and she's going to give us some information anyway. So don't ever feel like you can't find our guests, ladies and gentlemen. We make it very accessible for you because we know that there's someone out there that needs this service. And if it's not you, it's a family member. It's not your family member. It's a lady or gentleman next door. So we like to make sure we pass the resource on. Okay, so Amanda, one thing about our viewers, a lot of people who tune in, some of them say, I wish I had known this sooner. you know, okay, I can't use this, but my next door neighbor, you know, she's over there by herself. So we like to make sure that people are, you know, well educated and versed in the information. So thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you for having me. This is
Okay.
very exciting.
Okay. So now I know you was telling us about salt, and I do have some photos that we want to go into, so we can, you know, talk a little more about those type of photos that are aligned with salt. So when you do a presentation, do the people know that you're coming out with the police department, or how is that?
It really depends on what it is. The officers are really good. The NPOs are really good at promoting it. So they send it out to all their seniors. They have one specific community that they usually have. We have anywhere from 25 to 30 residents that come down, and we do educational bingo. We have such a great time. We have different Jeopardy. We have Family Feud. We do it all in a fun way, where they can learn something.
Great,
We've done Cupid Bingo. So it was all about heart health in February. We did that. It was a lot of fun.
Sounds like I'm
So-
going to have to show up in one of these.
You're
Now,
gonna have to
I
come.
want to just start off with,
Sure.
I love this logo. Is this your logo?
It is my logo.
That
Thank
is
you.
very, very nice. Very, very
Creating
nice.
moments with meaning is really what we really want to do, and you never know what that is, and where you're at. So
Okay. So now is this one of your photos where you're setting up?
this was one of the our education bingo, and we had some of our little bingo prizes on the side, cookies and socks and fun things like that. So they have seniors love bingo. They all love bingo.
Oh, yeah.
They fight over the bingo. This one was fun. This is one of our Jeopardy ones. This is another event. We were all talking about different
Jeopardy?
Jeopardy. It was education Jeopardy. So I had like palliative care and what was it? It was like senior living choices, things like that. So there's hospitalizations, and then we had different levels of questions. So it was fun.
Okay. All
I
right.
loved it.
Jeopardy. So I noticed this says 42% of adults 50 and over are taking care of a loved one with health issues or with a declining illness, according to U of M studies.
This is about a recent study that they have, and this is in the state of Michigan. So 42% is such a high
That's high.
rate
Yeah.
of people that are taking care of 50 and older. I mean, it's just, it's astounding when you think about that. That's darn near half. It's really close to that. It's very disturbing. And the amount of stress that that means that they're in that sandwich generation. Many of them, if they had children a little bit later in life, they're caught in that sandwich generation where they're taking care of a loved one and maybe teenagers or something like that.
Right. Yep. So now you have a checklist here.
Yes, this is our aging checklist. So this will show any of these things on here, frequent falls, unexplained bruises, on here, these are just indicators. Now, one of the things, we just passed the holidays. When we pass the holidays, people are getting together. They're noticing, wait a minute, mom's house isn't that clean. Or I noticed different things in the house that just didn't appear. Pills were on the floor or something like that. They don't notice it until like November to January.
Oh, yeah.
That's when some of these things are coming about.
And one of the signs, too, is when a person doesn't get the mail or doesn't open the mail, you know, and you see the mail piling up. You're looking
Bills
at
are not being paid.
bills not paid.
Yep.
Food products, you know, stuff that you brought over in the plate never got eaten.
They're
stuff like
losing
that.
weight because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
forgetting to eat.
Yep,
Maybe
yep.
they don't know that. Many times there's people that are out of state. Their parents live here and their children are out of state. Those are some of the things. This is a great aging checklist that
That's great.
put out there for that.
So what are some of the biggest mistakes families make when planning, you know, for their aging parent? What are some of the...
I think one of the biggest things is the lack of planning.
Okay.
You know, you have the lack of planning. You have the rivalry between loved ones where they're like, oh, well, mom wants this and mom wants that. And I'm going to be a caregiver. I'm going to get paid to care for mom and I'm going to do this.
Right.
And it goes back and forth. But if mom or dad make a plan in place well ahead of time,
Oh, yeah.
it's going to alleviate many of those issues.
I was just speaking to President and CEO Ron Taylor of Detroit Area Agency on Aging, and I expressed to him that parents need to start as a teenager turns 18, at least by the age of 18, have that talk with them about things as we age and as we're changing. What would we want? Because at 18, you should be balanced enough to know that if the parent falls out, dad or mom has epilepsy or something, you should know that they have that, so that if you have to rush them to the hospital, the doctor say, what happened, or do you know their history? You should be able to tell that. But parents are so like, oh, I don't want to upset the kids. You're really upsetting the kids and yourself when you don't share the knowledge of what's going on with your health.
Absolutely. I agree with you. That is something that happens. My mother had a heart defect, so she's been 18 years as a heart transplant patient. Wow. So I was in that place where, there was times where we had to look and be a caregiver at one time. She's doing fabulous now. She's doing really good. But I have seen my loved ones care for their parents. I've seen my mom care for their parents through hospice.
It's
and
always
different
one.
things like that.
Okay.
And all of us. I mean, we
always
really,
one.
and the stress level that we have carrying that is
So now, how does your program help a family step by step?
So first what we do is we do kind of an education. First is the education. Then we can become an advocate for them. We can say, we have to come up with a plan. I call it the Providence Plan. And that's saying, okay, this is step one is, okay, maybe mom is in the house and she's having forgetfulness. Put some cameras in the house.
Correct.
Put some cameras on, watch them a little bit, see what's happening. You can notice. I mean, if they're unsafe, they could be using the stove. There's so many accidents that happen those way. So put that camera in there. I would say leave it out of the bedroom, maybe the bathroom, the hallways, living rooms, things like that. Put a plan in place, and that's what I do first. I sit down with them. We said, okay, let's look at a plan. Once we do that plan, then we can go to the next step. If anything happens, mom or dad goes to the hospital, call me. I can be your advocate. The service is completely free.
Okay.
I am there. You can make a plan ahead of time. Then from there, maybe they need rehab. I know some of the great rehabs that are out here. I know those things because I've worked with them. I've had loved ones that have been referred. I've had church members that have been referred to certain ones, and they've gotten excellent care. So I can kind of feel those
you can navigate for them.
I can navigate, and that's what I can do.
You're a navigator.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I think it's one of those things where we can go out and we can do those things. And once you have that plan in place, you're able
A little more smooth sailing.
Exactly.
All right. Not 100%, but a little more smooth sailing than it started out.
A little less stress.
Okay, less stress. Okay, we're going to take a break on that note, and we'll be back. We'll be right back. Stress-free. We'll be right back.
There we go.
I try to keep up with what these young people is doing and knowing.
I was at work and I just got a text from a number that I didn't know.
I sent him a text. He texts me back and say, "Who dis?" And I just thought that was the funniest thing.
The next few weeks, she just made fun of me, like would answer the door and say, "Who dis?"
Who dis?
Drop off a warm meal and get more than you expect. Volunteer at americaletsdolunch.org.
America, let's do lunch.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know about you, but I'm actually enjoying the conversation I'm having here with CEO Amanda Allen, because why? It's got something to do with making sure that you are, getting some assistance in taking care of your loved ones. So some of you are saying, I wish I knew this a little sooner. It was never too late, okay? There's always room for change. And so the opportunity for you to reach out to Amanda, as well as any of the other past guests, please reach out to me at Marsha at Just Ask Talk Show, or call us at 1-800-323-5336. And those of you who do not like 800 numbers, call the local number 248-242-7730. So either way, we're going to get the call, shoot the question over to that individual, and you can get the information also in the credit roll. So Amanda, your website information will be at the bottom of the screen, so people who want to actually take a look at your site. But I did have a question about, can you go into more detail about what is Providence?
Yeah, Providence Partners is the definition of Providence is the timely preparation for future eventualities.
Okay.
And when I struggled with that name, but once I got the name, it was really exciting how I got that name. It was just a divine thing for me when I received it. So And it was everything together. It's that planning piece. That's what that really was, is that planning piece.
So bring everything together.
Exactly. And so the Providence Partners is a partner with community. It's a partner with churches, with different senior communities, offering classes, and it's such a great way to bring this education piece out. I always said if I could ever have one job, it would be to bring education and healthcare together. Now I'm doing it.
That sounds good. Now, can you give us a little story about a Providence
Sure.
planner?
Sure.
Okay,
I had two. They were this family. They were not married, but they had been together for quite some time, like 27 years. And with them together, each of their children contacted me, and they said, "We need help." And so you had caregiver. There was a caregiver. She was the caregiver, and she was helping her significant other because he was ill. He was constantly falling. He was having all these issues. Wow. She also was very ill because she was recently diagnosed with a lung disorder. So they were both struggling. Phone call said, "Hey, can you help me? What can we do?" I was able to get services for him, set up, sat down, family meeting, let's come up with a plan. Once we got them planned, we were able to eventually put them into placement because I will help with placement, nursing home, assisted living, any of those different things. So we were able to put him into placement. We had to separate them, and it was very difficult on that time, but it was something that it made the transition for that family so much easier. Okay. Because I would just take that on, and whenever someone said, "Hey, what about this?" I said, "Don't worry about it. I'll go ahead and take care of it."
Now, are you dealing with these insurance companies? I mean, the insurance companies, when it comes to parenting and stuff, like, "Oh no, we don't do contracts. Oh no," so they get their hands off. Are you dealing actually with the physicians?
It really depends on what it is. It could be the nursing homes that we're dealing with. It could be a nursing home that they're being discharged. Now they push them out pretty quickly these days.
They do.
You can be in rehab for 10 days, and then they're going to push them out.
And there's no plan.
And there's no plan.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
It's a phone call saying, "Hey, you've got to go back them up today." And
Right.
families are like, "What do you mean today? Where am I going to take them?"
So is that where you step in?
Exactly.
Okay.
I get those phone calls quite often where mom needs to be somewhere today. And then what I always let them know is that you can appeal for 72 hours. You can do a 72
That's
hour.
right.
You can do that 72-hour appeal.
Right. Call that ombudsman.
There
So
you
I want let's start. Excuse me. Let's start off with
So
one of these
sure.
photos that you have here.
This is one of our activities that we were doing at one of the assisted livings. So just bringing joy to them and having a good time cognitively, being able to interact with them. And that's one of the things, I mean, they're so alone. They're in
I mean, playing a game or two with children and playing a game or two with adults or seniors should be fun.
It should be.
It should be
We do.
stressful, stressless. Okay?
Exactly.
Okay,
But we do
stress-free.
fun things. The things that we do, we do Motown bingo. We'll do, we can do Elvis bingo. We do all these different types of things. Because when you're working with the memory care, you have to add your music to it. You have to add music. You have to add music to it.
Okay, all right.
I see residents that actually wake up. This is one of my educational pieces. We're doing, this one we're doing health bingo.
Okay.
So we're describing different things. What is a nursing home? What is a rehab? What is a long-term care? What is a DOA? What is a DPOA? What is a POA? All of these different acronyms that we don't know what they are. Some people know what a DNR is, and they said, "Oh, I don't want that," or "Yes, I want that." And then you go into different things.
So they're actually learning at the same time.
They're learning the whole time.
Right.
And I have not walked away with anybody not saying, "Hey, there's one of our bingos, some health proxy, nursing home. What are they?" And they have such a great time.
So your
with it.
bingo chart has health information on it.
Exactly. It's just health information on it. It's all with aging.
Okay, wonderful. All right, that helps people better. Okay, and I just love this. Is this your outgoing flyer that you sent out?
This is my
Well,
newest marketing
marketing
piece that's
card,
out
okay.
here now. Some of the things that we do and where we're able to help with the placement services. I am a hospice consultant, so
Okay.
I help with
Memory
navigating
care.
that.
All right.
Palliative care, and then just really being a care consultant and being able to walk those families through those difficult times.
Okay.
That's really what I'm here to advocate for.
That's a good listing of services to have or skills to
Yes.
have. Excuse me, because a lot of people are never sure about what they're going to do with their family members. But I must admit, I just love your logo.
Thank you.
Okay, I think you did a great job, and it looks
you.
very passionate.
Thank
Okay, and caring. So we're very grateful to have you here to share your educational piece. Okay, and I wanted to bring up your card now. Oh, no, before I do that, I have this form here, and I want you to tell us about it. It's your Providence Plan, timely preparation for future evaluations. Now, I know, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like a white piece of paper to you, but it's got a lot of details to it. So briefly tell us about this before we wrap up.
This is a document that you can plan before a crisis. If somebody has that if they have that in their hands and they're sitting down and they're filling it out, there's a spot at the end for the children to actually sign it.
Okay.
So it's when mom or dad is of sound mind at 55, I'm going to go ahead and fill mine out, make sure my kids know how you want to age. Do you want to be in a nursing home? Do you want to stay at home? Do you want to go to assisted living? There's a great detail. How are you going to pay for it? There's so many different ways that you can pay for
Now,
it.
should a person put this away once this has been documented? Should they get it sealed, or should they just?
It's not a legal document. This
No.
is not a legal document, but I do keep copies myself.
Okay.
And then it's also given to the person that has filled it out of sound mind. And I also take a photo of them signing it, so
Great.
their children know that they're signing this
No
document.
hanky-panky. Okay.
They're signing this document,
You're
and this
signing
is
it.
their choice.
Okay. Now I want to share this before we go, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all, you can actually, get one of these cards if you're trying to find out what services. And I did it this way because this is the front and this is the back, and I think this is so nice. So it's like a calling card.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. And it's got your email address, web address on there.
Yes.
Stressfreeaging.com. Okay. And your name. All right. And phone number. Okay. Great. So, excuse me, and and Amanda, I wanted to mention people can get this card. This is your business
It is
card,
my
but it's
business
actually
card,
got some
yes,
information on the
absolutely.
back.
Your aging checklist.
Your
Yeah.
checklist.
And if you ever have 2 or more of those things, call me,
Okay.
and we can have a
So I can keep
discussion.
this my card.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's
you
all I
can
want.
have it. You can have it. Pass
Thank
it
you,
along.
thank you. But this one's my card. Okay.
Absolutely.
So Amanda Allen, would you come back and join me again?
I would be honored.
Well,
Absolutely.
I'll be honored to have you because somebody's
Thank you.
got questions. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm so excited to
Thank you. We are
biggest.
looking out for our disabled population, our elderly population, and the caregivers who are struggling with trying to do the job.
The most vulnerable right now. They are most vulnerable.
Okay.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you so much. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I always tell you, if you have a question about a guest or if you have a show idea, you can always reach out to us. And no doubt we'll get that information onto the screen for you so that you can know that your question was answered. By all means, I'm your host, Marsha Florence for Just Ask. And what do I always say? If you have a question about a person with a disability or just a general question, don't be afraid to ask. Just ask. Thank you.